Do this. HODL, HODL, HODL. Save, save, save. Builder, builder, builder. Sound money, sound money. Hello guys, we're back, and now we should actually have sound as well. Am I right? Can someone confirm it for me on YouTube, just so I'm completely confident? Yes, sounds good. Right, beautiful.
Guys,
thank you guys.
Yeah, guys, we are just two imaginative idiots working our way through Bitcoin. And let me explain a little bit of what happened. We're building a new foundation. We're not trying to win the world over or anything. We're building a base. We want to build up the quality of our production, the quality of the show that we put out, and then we'll be working on the content. So we want to make sure we have the right format. Then we can really start working on the content.
And now we're sort of feeling we're getting to the format part, so now the content is coming into it.
And all that we did before that you didn't see, we will probably edit. We might include, because you really missed meeting Big Bear and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he might come back.
He might come back. We'll see what we got recorded.
Well, so they saw him.
They did see him. They just didn't get to hear what we're talking about. So,
but yeah, he's the guy that will bite your face off if you come and try to rob our Bitcoin.
Well, we try and have a little security here. But I just want to outline what we're doing here. Stefan and I could not be doing this except that we both are hodlers.
Right. That's basically...
I think I was more deliberate than you.
I was a very accidental hodler, but a hodler nonetheless.
So the result's the same.
Right.
And, if you've been following me for a long time, where I started getting a reputation was writing on Medium, and one of my very first articles was how to have the same results as a professional trader without taking the inherent risks. And I outlined the strategy of dollar cost averaging in an asset that's fundamentally sound. And of course, that's what we've done in Bitcoin. You've seen the results. If you just dollar cost average it, even if you take the very worst timing, you're a multi-millionaire now in Bitcoin, just investing $500 a month.
Right. And this is all information that's available on UglyOldGoat.com. You can go there for free. There's no reason to pay us for any of our paid products.
We're going to be doing in the future, same model. Most of this stuff that we're doing now, I was able to get BitcoinConsumerReport.com. Said, yeah, let's get it and run with it.
Let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today. We decided that there are so many other ways than trading that you can make money off being a hodler.
What I'm teaching is not just hodling, but I teach saving, and that is as you hodl, you reward yourself. And then the last thing we do is we build it. Now, build it does not mean you have to be a developer on Bitcoin. It does not mean you have to know programming. Guys, you might, we have people that one of my favorite people is Victor Villacania. He's an engineer, runs 2 factories, but he loves Bitcoin. He has no intention of giving up his great job. He loves the family, and so I get it.
It's not everyone is like me who hated their job and wanted to leave.
Well, I'm unemployable anyway, so maybe you're unemployable. But if you're unemployable, then you got to find something else. So the whole thing is we want to teach you Builda, and Builda is just being the very best at what you know, and it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. In fact, I don't know the technical aspects. I'm the first one that to confess I don't understand the back end. I understand the economic principles. I found some very developers with integrity who I trust that have explained it to me, and so some things I do have to take on faith. It's just like the way one great analogy is, to use electricity, you don't need to know how a nuclear reactor works, and yet running a nuclear reactor is a very
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's not something, and the same thing here with Bitcoin. I came to the conclusion through my study of economics, and everybody comes to this realization in different ways. So what I want to do today is I want to emphasize building, and that's what we're emphasizing now. And the way that I kind of want to explain it is I started kind of coming out. I didn't even reveal who I was, my face, or anything.
Do you want to tell them why?
Well, I'm a well-known convicted felon. Let's put it that way. I have a storied past, and it was hard. But thanks to my friend Tone Bates, he encouraged me to do so, and so here I am. And hopefully, I'll have a little bit to pass on and teach others. I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I'm here to pass on to others. So building is after I started writing on Medium.
Well, since this is public, do you want to start before you actually got convicted? What is your credentials as a money man?
Well, before I was a convicted felon, I was a Series 7 securities dealer and commodities broker when everything was not digital and it was all analog. And the trading boards were kind of like a big pinball machine that made lots of noise, and actually we sent our orders through teletype. The most reliable was teletype, but I also had the phone. And
So you were a real paper trader?
I was I was a
floor trader.
Well, I was not a floor trader, no.
Oh, okay.
I worked for a commission firm, but I got a very good rate. I basically paid probably a little bit more than floor traders. I was never a member of the exchange, but I actually cleared through I don't think they're around anymore, but it was Clayton Brokerage Company that was a subsidy of Garnet Grain, which was part of one of the top 7 families in the world. I don't know who they are, Andre family or something like that. I don't know. But
the point is, this man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, I know some. What I know. But most I don't know. The whole thing is, though, that I want to teach you by example, and the example is that in 2018, after I started writing, I then made the next decision. I said, you know what? I know how to trade. My mentor said, you know what? If you can't publish your trades and show people your actual results, you really shouldn't claim that you know how to trade. So I took up that challenge and I did it. And before I went public, I published my trades on Medium. And I think in the fall of 2018, I ran 2 Bitcoin into 22 Bitcoin, and then started the website. And basically, I risked 10 Bitcoin to start UglyOldGoat.com.
Right.
And
at the time?
Yeah, I sold lifetime memberships, my life, not yours. And Bitcoin was about $3,500 then. And I charged it. So it was about, and with a 15% discount off of $350, I don't know what that is, but basically a little under $300 to get a lifetime subscription. And it's turned out to be a really great investment for everybody. It actually, paid for itself. Now here we are.
I know my subscription paid for itself many times over.
And now we don't have a lifetime subscription anymore, and we have it's a yearly subscription. And
but
I don't really care if I sell it because I'm not. Most of my stuff is free. The only thing you get with my subscription, you get my actual trades.
Because I also want to point out, this is not a cheap subscription. It has cost 0.1 Bitcoin since day one, and it still does.
It still does, and you only get a year now.
Right, so you're looking at $6,000.
Right, so if you don't,
if you don't think you need it, you probably don't.
Yeah, you probably don't. If you don't have a HODL, you're not qualified anyway. But you don't need it. You really don't. So what we're doing is, again, we're going to be offering a lot of all free content. It's just I don't want to go through and teach the same things over and over and over again, because we're doing another new level. Here we are. I'm putting up 10 Bitcoin, which is now almost $600,000. He's putting up 600,000, and we want to make an investment in giving back to Bitcoin. We don't know if we're going to. We could fall flat on our face.
But you know what?
Can you believe it? I can afford to lose $600,000.
You
It
know,
doesn't affect me one way or another.
Do you know that that was absolutely
It's an incredible situation, isn't it?
Last year we were thinking about, well, if we were ever going to be able to use them, things have changed a lot in Bitcoin, which has made many differences in many lives.
So as an asset class, it's going to change, and you can't. What people are expecting from me this year, and they kind of have to learn this too. They you're not doing what I did. I haven't actually traded at all hardly this year. In fact, I stopped in January. I've lost, 4 or 6 Bitcoin.
I think you only just started.
Yeah.
You only just re-entered the market, right?
Right, in very, very small, almost negligible way.
And that's the things that our paying members get.
Right.
He publishes his trades and his track record in real time.
In real time.
Not for people to follow, but so people can see what.
And we have a member that created an equity app where you can plug in my trades and see how my equity flows. And you can plug in your trades, because what I really teach guys is not TA. I teach equity trading, which the most important thing about trading is money management. It's really got nothing to do with technical analysis, fundamentals. It's primarily money management. And once you get that down, those other 2 things fall into place. I outline, the fundamentals apart from Bitcoin, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and both of those are important. And TA is not anything to be ignored. It's very useful, but most people abuse it, and they think it's the end-all to end-all. And without money management, technical analysis is going to ruin you.
Right.
It just is.
Money management will save any system you're using as long as it is consistently.
I use and have always used BitMEX as my trading platform. It is a professional platform. You shouldn't go in there if you're an amateur and think you know what you're doing. Guys like me are going to eat your lunch.
Right. Even I'm going to eat your lunch, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
So there are, safer ways. They may not be quite so efficient, and it's working out your own comfort zone. That's the most important thing. But one of the things that I do teach, I know you might Google it and see if that article is that the exchanges really are the current Bitcoin banks. And they're not the best banks, okay?
Is it your article?
Yeah, just hit UglyOldGoat and go exchanges, Bitcoin bank exchange. Let's see.
Managing exchange risk.
Okay, if we are to be our own, but how's that one? Yeah, I don't know.
If we are to be our, is that one? No, that's Twitter.
That's just a Twitter. Managing
exchanges are.
Well, that's not a bad one right there. Managing, that's my focus article.
That's a video.
Coming Bitcoin world. That's managing exchanges. I don't know where that is.
Good question and deserves a thorough answer. Is that the one?
Let's try it. Well, I'm not going to go through, guys.
No, but anyway, your point was.
My point is basically the exchanges are acting as primitive banks now. They're not the best thing around. They're not transparent as we would like, but they are serving a function. You need to understand that any funds, any Bitcoin that you put on an exchange is not your Bitcoin.
Right.
And that you're taking a very real exchange risk. Now, that exchange risk has diminished substantially over the course of time. Before 2016, I lost a lot of funds, a lot of Bitcoin, probably more Bitcoin than I ever owned at one time, to exchanges. I was a victim of several exchanges, hacks. I was also a victim of Cryptsy.
Yeah, you went down with.
I went down with Cryptsy. I went down
Mount Gox, right?
No, I did not go down. Not because I didn't want to. I couldn't get to it. And I did what was CC script, and was a kind of a mining thing where I took out 120 Bitcoin and gave it all back to them. That's sad. And guys, don't misconstrue what I'm teaching here. I literally took last year, less than $5,000 and turned it into well over $1 million just trading Bitcoin and Bitcoin alone on BitMEX. It's all documented. Subscribers have that documentation. They can load it on.
We all saw it. We all
saw it as it was going on, and not after the fact. We say, "Oh, I call it," because I don't know where the market's going. So I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish there, to show that it can be done, and that anybody can do it. It's not rocket science, and encourage you to learn what this Bitcoin is all about. I do understand, hedging probably better than most. I understand how exchanges operate. I do believe that BitMEX is the premier exchange for commercial users, and always has been and still is. Unfortunately, we've really dropped the ball because these guys have come under tremendous persecution, and they're really heroes in my book. I mean, I really like what's going on in the market right now. I mean, Michael Saylor's really putting out some good content, and I really compliment him for that. But beyond that, he really hasn't, done anything except he's a big buyer of Bitcoin.
Right. Anyone can put in a big amount if they have it.
But I think BitMEX and Arthur Hayes and Samuel Reed, all these guys, look, they got, first of all, it was a coordinated effort by the CFTC, by the regulators, because they were dominated the arbitrage in the hedging markets through the system that they pioneered, and so they offended the major exchanges, and they also offended the central banks. I think part of the reason they don't have a lot of public support is most people don't know how to trade. And I may have been living off of BitMEX, but most people lost their shirt.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Madeline here.
Okay.
That's done.
All right. So, that's where that is. But we want to go to the next level. And now what we want to do is, this is probably a bigger undertaking. I know I'm not going to be able to do it on my own, but we want to kind of become a consumer report, a Bitcoin consumer report on what's going on. We're not going to be making any, we may occasionally make specific recommendations, but mainly we want to show what's out there. And also, if there's some major scams out there, which there are, we're going to be doing one on one of my favorites.
Yeah, let's not give away too much.
But
Bitcoin.com
bait and switch.
Right. Okay, you just gave it all away anyway, but fair enough. That's how we work around here. No, we're gonna.
But that's not what we're gonna focus on now. We do want to look at. We had a fellow member. His name.
Crypto Sorrow.
No, not crypto.
We don't want to give away. We're public.
Well, it's not. He's speaking. Jimmy. I remember.
We're public.
Jimmy.
We're public.
Well, I don't think he minds. We don't.
Well, we don't know. Just
okay.
Stick to handles.
Okay, but nobody's gonna identify that. Is that too much? Okay, we have a member that shared what he was doing on
finance.
Yeah. And I was
specifically
the thing I really liked
app.
about it is Jimmy has he's all crippled up. He's an old guy like me, not quite as old as me, but he's got health problems, and so he trades just off of his cell phone, and then he uses a Samsung because it has that little stylus on it, which just that one feature kind of captivated me. And then he's using his own method, what he calls hedging operations. I'm not sold on that particularly. I'm not unsold on it. It's just guys, you do what you're most comfortable with. It's not. I don't have a right way or a wrong way. I do have a right way as far as principles, as far as how you manage the funds. But there's no magic beans to trading. There really isn't, and that's really a hard concept to understand.
Right.
But once you get that, then you're free to really open up yourself and what you can do trading. And the one thing that we're going to outline today, I am comfortable on BitMEX because it's a professionals market. I'm not.
You're a professional trader.
I'm a professional trader. I'm not here to endorse. I'll flat out tell you I love BitMEX. I think they're far beyond anything else out there, but it's not for everybody, and you're better off not starting out slow. When I first started trading Bitcoin, I only traded on the cash market.
Right. You traded spot.
I traded spot, and it was 100% arbitrage between various markets.
And for anyone who doesn't know what it means, when you trade spot, that means for every dollar you're putting in, you're actually putting in $1. When you're trading on leverage, you're putting in $1, and you may be trading with the value of $10.
Buying Bitcoin here and selling it there, and moving the funds to capitalize off of the spread.
Right. That's arbitrage.
And I have outlined that for our members. For example, if you
and there is a preview video that you can go watch to see if that's something that's for you, and if that's something you think you want to do, then maybe your the membership is worth it for you.
Yeah, it may be worth it to you. I mean, what I've taught people, right now you can make you can gross $8,000 a month trading 2 Bitcoin between Mexico and the world. At least in the current market condition.
But it also requires that you are in Mexico.
Yeah, you have to have your foot in both places. You have to meet KYC. You're going to be under the jurisdiction of a nation. You owe the tax if you're doing this profitably.
And you need to pay your taxes.
Because you know what? If you're going to trade in a jurisdiction, you're asking it, you've agreed to their rules.
Right.
Now, the beauty about Bitcoin is you can opt out and not play, but you don't really have an objection and say, well, I want to play in your playground, but I don't want to follow your rules. It doesn't work that way, guys.
Where does that ever work?
Yeah. So, that's what I teach, and you can do this. Like, say, if you're well financed, you can pull out $8,000. It takes a day's worth of work. If you're not, if you don't have 100,000 2 Bitcoin to trade with, you can easily do it within 12 business days.
Right. I mean, and it's like we said, that sort of a business is a self-escalating.
But you may not be into that. I get it. You've got commitments.
It's physical work.
Yeah, and just like we consider ourselves kind of the underground railroad of the new Bitcoin, because I think there's a real danger in the United States right now by having too much on legacy systems.
Not only in America, in anywhere.
My flat out recommendation, guys, is if you have all your assets tied up in a house and your retirement and your legacy accounts in the United States, you need to figure out some way to get immediately 5% of those assets out of there and into Bitcoin, and then eventually work it to where you have 15% of your net worth into Bitcoin. That's one thing that I think Michael Saylor's been pretty good at teaching when he came up with the idea, is he treats Bitcoin as his treasury. And that's exactly, I didn't have that terminology, but I think it's great terminology. And that's exactly the way you treat Bitcoin. It's your money at rest. It's like energy waiting to be used. And this is what we're doing now. We've been hodlers, and we've had this energy waiting to be used. Bitcoin all of a sudden popped. I don't have as much Bitcoin as I used to have, but my net worth is higher than it's ever been.
I really like the wording that you use in some of your articles, which is Bitcoin is monetary energy at rest under your own lock and key. Do you remember how you put it? I can't remember it.
It's in the article. I think I am saving.
Yeah, it's while fiat money is monetary energy heading towards
just deteriorating daily. And if you're selling
heading towards this inevitable point of worthlessness.
Yeah, you need to have it in practical value because other people are there and that's what they value. But you just have a very small portion of your operation, as little as possible, to the point that I'm so illiquid in fiat that sometimes I have a shortage of fiat. It's not like I have to. It's just that I haven't worked out all the different things. But
look, I have the same problem right now. I have absolutely no cash, and the bank machine ate my card yesterday by accident because it had an error. I can't get cash out, but I'm Bitcoin rich. It's a very weird feeling.
So what we're going to demonstrate today is while I opened up a Binance account, I'm not trading on Binance. I can't see any real advantage for me to. I'm not this is not a recommendation for Binance. I don't know their financial integrity. I assume that they are. I've heard nothing but reliable reports from them. A lot of us don't particularly like the way they finance themselves with the shitcoin, but I get it, and in retrospect, it certainly looks like a pretty smart move. But what I do want to emphasize is that there are exchanges are kind of the new they're the banks for they're acting as banks, not really good banks. This is where we need to develop in the future, but for now that's what they're acting as. And so they do have such thing as, I know Bitfinex had this for a long time where you could deposit Bitcoin and earn interest on it. The problem is that Bitfinex didn't get a hack. I was a victim of that. They made it all good, and so I guess the same thing happened on Binance. So but you can't get around this very real exchange risk, and as long as you realize that anything on an exchange you are at risk, then you learn how to treat banking. You don't keep all your money with one bank.
Right. Ask the Greeks how that goes.
You can have multiple banks, guys, and you can and some people you just keep credits with. I have my membership group. We have a referral link, so people, we come up with different ideas, and our members can promote them, and then for example, if you buy one of my subscriptions through a member, you get a 15% discount. I don't offer that discount if you go directly to my website, but if you go through a member, you get a 15% discount, and they get 10%. So people get this little balance in Bitcoin.
They have a little Bitcoin bank.
And, right, but I'm not an exchange. I'm not dumping it every 24 hours or immediately or anything. In fact, I had two people asking for Bitcoin. We didn't even notice it for a month. And somebody in February asked for Bitcoin. They just got it this week. So,
we'll get better at that. We promise.
We're getting what we're doing is we're setting up our system, guys. We're establishing what we're trying to do here and teaching what we're trying to do. I'm not ready to. We're not ready to be a big organization.
No, we don't need to be.
But we don't need to, and I don't even know that I even want to be.
No, I've been part of those. They suck.
So, it's just where everybody wants to go on this. So, are you going to make the demonstration on this?
Yeah, are we ready to move on?
Yeah. Oh, and I will be if you're going to be in Miami, I will be at the Miami conference, which is end of April.
Hopefully, I will be too.
And I will be teaching money management.
Right. Yeah. I'll just be getting drunk.
All right.
Right, guys.
We are done.
I think we're done. Do you wanna do the dance one more time?
We can. It's what we teach, guys. Very simple.
This is how it works.
Go
HODL, HODL, HODL. Save. Builder. Sound money.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Nice hanging out. See you next time.